Long ago, in a small town called Bethlehem, a child was born who would change the course of human history. His name was Jesus, and though he was born in a humble stable, his life carried a divine purpose. Angels announced his birth, and shepherds and wise men traveled from afar to see the newborn king. From the very beginning, his life was marked with signs of hope and love. As Jesus grew up in Nazareth, he lived a simple life with his earthly parents, Mary and Joseph. Even as a boy, he amazed teachers in the temple with his wisdom, speaking about God with authority beyond his years. Those who met him felt that he was no ordinary child. He was the Son of God. When he was about 30 years old, Jesus began his ministry. He was baptized by John the Baptist in the Jordan River, and as he came out of the water, the heavens opened, and the Spirit of God descended upon him like a dove. A voice declared, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." From that moment, Jesus set out to share God's message of love, forgiveness, and eternal life. Jesus gathered 12 disciples, ordinary men like fishermen and tax collectors, and invited them to follow him. With them he traveled from village to village, teaching, healing the sick, giving sight to the blind, and bringing hope to the poor and broken-hearted. His miracles amazed the people. He calmed storms, fed thousands with just a few loaves of bread and fish, and even raised the dead. But more than his miracles, it was his words that touched hearts. One of his greatest teachings was the Sermon on the Mount, where he said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." These words taught people that God's kingdom was not about power or wealth, but about love, humility, and faith. Everywhere Jesus went, crowds followed him. He welcomed children, spoke to outcasts, and showed compassion to sinners. He taught that no one was beyond God's forgiveness and that his love was greater than any sin. He shared stories, parables that carried deep truths: the Good Samaritan, the prodigal son, the lost sheep. Through these, he revealed that God's love seeks every lost soul. But not everyone accepted him. The religious leaders of the time felt threatened by his growing influence. They plotted against him, even as he continued to heal, teach, and love without fear. The time came when Jesus entered Jerusalem riding on a donkey, and crowds shouted, "Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." Yet within days, those same voices would cry for his crucifixion. On the night before his death, Jesus shared a final meal with his disciples, the Last Supper. He broke bread and said, "This is my body, given for you." He took a cup of wine and said, "This is my blood, shed for the forgiveness of sins." He washed his disciples' feet, teaching them that true greatness comes through serving others. That night, Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane, asking his Father for strength. Soon after, he was betrayed by Judas, arrested, and brought before the authorities. Though innocent, he was condemned to death. Soldiers mocked him, placed a crown of thorns on his head, and forced him to carry a heavy cross to a hill called Golgotha. There, Jesus was crucified. As he hung on the cross, he prayed, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." With his final breath, he declared, "It is finished." The sky darkened, the earth trembled, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. The Son of God had given his life for the sins of the world. But the story did not end there. On the third day, Jesus rose from the dead. The tomb was empty, and angels announced, "He is not here, he is risen." His resurrection brought victory over death and gave hope of eternal life to all who believe. For 40 days after his resurrection, Jesus appeared to his disciples. He encouraged them, saying, "Go into all the world and preach the good news." Then, before their eyes, he ascended into heaven, promising, "I am with you always, even to the end of the age." The life of Jesus Christ is not just a story from the past. It is a living message of love, forgiveness, faith, and hope. He showed us how to live with kindness, how to forgive, and how to trust in God's plan. To walk with Jesus is to walk in peace, knowing that no matter what struggles we face, His love will never leave us.